Literary horror themes in American literature. American literature has long been fascinated with horror, weaving tales of psychological terror, supernatural dread, and existential fear. From the puritanical anxieties of early colonial writings to the modern grotesqueries of contemporary fiction, horror in American literature reflects societal fears, moral dilemmas, and the darker aspects of human nature. Below are some of the most prominent horror themes in American literary tradition. 1. Puritanical horror, sin, damnation, and the supernatural. Early American horror was deeply rooted in religious fear. Puritan writers like Cotton Mather documented real and imagined horrors in works such as Wonders of the Invisible World 1693, which detailed the Salem witch trials. The idea of divine punishment and unseen evil forces permeated early American thought, later influencing Gothic literature. Key works: The Crucible, Arthur Miller, a dramatization of mass hysteria and witch trials. Young Goodman Brown, Nathaniel Hawthorne, A Descent into the Darkness of Human Hypocrisy. 2. Gothic horror, isolation, madness, and the uncanny. The American Gothic tradition, heavily influenced by European Gothic fiction, explored themes of decay, madness, and haunted landscapes. Writers like Edgar Allan Poe and H. P. Lovecraft crafted stories where the mind itself was the greatest source of terror. Poe's psychological horror. Poe's works, such as The Tell-Tale Heart and The Fall of the House of Usher, focus on unreliable narrators, guilt, and the blurring of reality and madness. His characters often spiral into self-destruction, embodying the terror of the human psyche. Lovecraftian cosmic horror. H. P. Lovecraft introduced the idea of cosmic horror, the fear of the unknown and humanity's insignificance in a vast, indifferent universe. His mythos, featuring ancient gods like Cthulhu, evokes existential dread. Key works: The Raven. Poe, A Descent into Grief-Induced Madness. The Call of Cthulhu. Lovecraft, The Horror of Incomprehensible Cosmic Entities. 3. Southern Gothic, decay, grotesquerie, and social horror. The Southern Gothic subgenre, popularized by writers like Flannery O'Connor and William Faulkner, blends horror with social critique. Themes of racial tension, moral corruption, and grotesque characters dominate these works. Key works: A Good Man Is Hard to Find. O'Connor, violent irony and moral ambiguity. Absalom, Absalom, Faulkner, A Decaying Southern Family Haunted by Secrets. 4. Psychological horror, the monsters within. Modern American horror often explores internal fears rather than external monsters. Writers like Shirley Jackson, The Haunting of Hill House, and Stephen King, The Shining, delve into isolation, addiction, and fractured identities. Key works: The Yellow Wallpaper. Charlotte Perkins Gilman, A Woman's Descent into Madness Due to Patriarchal Oppression. Pet Sematary. King, Grief Manifesting as Supernatural Horror. 5. Postmodern and existential horror. Contemporary horror often questions reality itself. Thomas Ligotti and Mark Z. Danievsky, House of Leaves experiment with form and narrative to create disorienting existential terror. Key works: I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Harlan Ellison, AI-Induced Eternal Suffering. House of Leaves, A Labyrinthine Nightmare of Unreliable Text. Conclusion: Why American horror endures. American literary horror thrives because it mirrors cultural anxieties, whether Puritan guilt, Gothic madness, or modern existential dread. By confronting the darkest aspects of humanity and the unknown, these stories remain timeless in their ability to unsettle and provoke. Would you like a deeper dive into any specific author or subgenre? Tell me in the comments and subscribe and like for more.